when an architect designs a building, he knows how much wood and how the walls are supposed to be and how the plumbing is supposed to be. So when the building inspector comes, everything is, they say, specs. In other words, it's in its proper place. It's in its proper measurements. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. So the building inspector looks at it and he looks at the blueprints and he looks at the actual work. He says, okay, this is what it's supposed to be. Okay, this work will pass, so you can go ahead and finish it and open up the building, whatever it is. Are you going to pass the building inspector? That's what you need to ask yourself. Are your life lined up with the will of God? Are you in the will of God? Are you doing what God told you to do? When the building inspector comes to see if your building is up to code, I'm talking about your body now. We're not talking about the natural building. We're talking about your natural body now. Your mind, your spiritual mind, your mental mind. Are you doing what God has called you to do, or are you trying to stop somebody else from doing the will of God? You got to ask yourself that question. Am I helping society, or am I trying to hurt society? Am I become all things to all men like Paul did? Do I love every nationality? Do I love every economic group? Do I make friends with everybody, or do I only make friends with certain people because they fit my idea of what a person should be? Paul said, I became all things to all men. In other words, I embraced all religions. I embraced everything that God has called me to embrace. But I know who the true God is, but I would never turn anybody away. Excuse me. There's a move of God in the earth realm that cannot be stopped. God is moving miraculously without the permission of anybody. Nobody can stop this move. It cannot be stopped until the end of time. Let me finish my scripture. Verse 5. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. That word sanctified means God set you apart. He cleansed you before you were formed in the womb of your mother. He sanctified you. He set you apart. He prepared you for a certain work. No, it ain't gonna be pleasant, because don't nobody really want to hear everything that God have to say, including me. Because some things he gonna say to me, I ain't gonna like it, because I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to do better. And see, we don't want to change. We don't want to do better. Don't nobody want to be told what to do. We want to stay in control of our lives, but that's why our lives are so messed up and so out of control, because we want to stay in control instead of allowing God to be in control. You ain't gonna like me today, but I gotta tell you the truth. We're all in danger of the judgment if we don't get it right. If we don't stop playing church, if we don't stop just trying to get along just so won't nobody say nothing. I just try to like the people, but I know people are so far from God, it's ridiculous. When you go in the street, they got this little phony act going on. It's all good. God bless you. I love you. But we need to get it right. We need to get it right, y'all. I'm just being honest with you. After all of the fake facade and everything has gone on, and you ran and shouted all over the church, the first thing you want to do is head for the riverboat. You know that ain't God.